And now I'll go to screen share.
Okay.
Hi. Okay. Yeah. And let's go for the first one.
Well, the florals, let's do those last if we have time. I'm
Okay.
more concerned about the um the figures because yeah. I feel like I messed up. This is the very first one that you and I were working on,
Uh-huh.
and I put it down to work on the second one, and I feel like that's up to speed, and I want to iron that, but I want to practice the ironing, and it's a good thing I didn't touch it yet. So this is where it was before I started ironing, and then then I got to the next one, and
This is the same piece.
yeah, the same piece, this
Okay.
first piece. And then the third picture, yeah, that one. Okay, so this one, I ironed it. The iron was too hot, so that was a big issue. But then I put it down, and I didn't do the intermediate step, but I put it down, and then in the morning I thought, oh, I think I'll do it like I said, just start bringing in um, more pigment, bring it in, and it just got to be a mess. So
I okay. So wait, let me just get this straight. So it went from this to
yeah,
this to this.
wait. Let's go back. Which the first? That's the very first one,
This is the first one.
right? And I don't
And
think I saw this after I put some color in, and I needed to work on the skirt. And anyway, so then
then it
yeah,
went to
then it was the second one,
then it went to this.
right? Because I was trying to do the light source. I had the light source in the wrong place.
Okay.
Um,
And then it went to this.
right. So
Okay.
so
So I
I should have done the picture after I ironed the second one before I started putting pigment on because then it really got messed up. But anyway, so there it is.
so nothing's permanent, right? And nothing's permanent and everything is a learning experience. So
Mhm.
um let's go back and kind of look at all so the first one the my problems with this is that that yellowy color is
Mhm.
is all around, right? So it's high, it's
Mhm.
in the sky and it's in the water. So that's a little and it's kind of equal. So that's really my
Mhm.
biggest criticism of it is that it's like
Mhm.
even though the background at the top is lighter and the bottom is darker, I still feel like it's a lot
Mhm.
of yellow and
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
this one I think has a lot of things working for it. Um, one of which is sort of like the movement in the dress, and I think her hands are nice. Now, are
Yeah.
these flowers? Are these flowers she's holding? This right here.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
don't. Yeah. I don't particularly like that. But anyway, that's what it was.
I think it's soft. I mean, I think it's okay. I don't dislike it. So the only thing I would criticize about this one is maybe after you added this layer of color, then
Mhm.
I think you need to tone this layer of color. So it's kind of like
Mhm.
color and then go back to gray and white, right?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
you could have just added like white over here,
Mhm.
right? And a little bit of gray over here and a little bit of
Mhm.
white over here.
Mhm.
Or if you didn't want to add a toning color such as gray or white, you could have just removed a little bit of that because
Mhm.
basically
Mhm.
the pan pastels or the pigment sticks sit on that top surface. So if you scrape
Right.
them back, you're going to go
Right.
back to what's underneath.
Right.
And you are absolutely correct here to have a light color here and a dark color here and then add the color. Okay, so but
Mhm.
then you went to this.
Mhm.
So I actually really like this.
I do
Um,
too.
okay, all right. So I actually really like this and I like how you got rid of some of the yellow down here, exactly
Mhm.
like I said. I like how there's kind of a reference to maybe some florals here and maybe something here. What I would ask is sometimes when I have like this sort of weird awkward space in between this flower and
Mhm.
I might just add another little soft flower suggestion so that
Mhm.
you can't really tell
Mhm.
if they're everywhere or all along the bottom, but it kind of gives it like the idea that there might be.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking I should fix the background, and then I wanted to put in some of those little tissue flowers, float. But I thought get the background fixed first.
Well, okay, so the problem with this one now is that she is really like coming forward because the background all has the same weight. So there isn't, so this is very two-dimensional. There isn't that third dimension.
Oh, okay.
So the third dimension needs to be an area somewhere in between this, which is super sharp, and this, which is like all textured.
Right, right.
So
Yeah.
so the third area could be like up here. And why I pick up here is because that would suggest like a sunset or a horizon skyline or an opening in, like I always call it air, like opening for air, like somewhere that people can, their eyes can breathe. And also because she's looking like up.
Yeah.
Like, so if you cleared this area of a texture and color, that suggests that the light is coming from above. There's like a sky above her. She's meditating on, hope in the future, things above her happening or something like that. Does that make sense?
It does. So
Also, you need to give people relief. I call it like relief. So when you have an area,
too much texture, too busy.
too much texture, too busy. So you need another area to kind of suggest the opening up here, right? Okay.
Now, would you suggest ironing the top, or?
Well, I would probably scrape it, but if you're, if you're loving the iron, I mean, okay, so still, like, even when I look at this email, when the images are smaller, I definitely like this one the best.
Oh, me too. I do too.
Okay.
Yeah, this one just was a disaster.
Well, is this what it looks like now?
That's what it looks like now. And I just said, it was last night, and I said, stop. Just talk to Leah. Just stop.
Okay, okay. So what we can do is just scrape back. So take the razor blade or the palette knife, and we're just gonna gently start scraping back to kind of get back to where we were.
Back to the second one that we had. See, because there's so much texture. The texture really shows up here. You can see the texture on the third one, and that's after I ironed.
Right.
So the iron was too hot on the left side, and then the dress, all that was hot, and it just made a mess. And then I put pigment on trying to.
Well, like this line here now is just like too sharp, and this line is too sharp. So I would say that
it's all just blocky. It's blocky.
Yeah, but you might be surprised. Like if you start reducing here, like taking reduction, like here, let me see if I can download it. I can try circle it. My laptop broke last week.
Are you kidding?
No, it's $1,000. $1,000 to fix it.
I have to take my desktop in. They're gonna kind of re-up it. I can get the whoa. So
I know, what was that?
Photoshop and Lightroom, but I have to upgrade. But that means I have to do all kinds of anyway. So
yeah, they got you over the barrel.
Yeah, there's no question about it.
They got you trapped. Let's see what's this. All right, so this has to get fixed.
Yeah.
This whole area has to get fixed.
Now, with that area that you just circled, would you suggest, scraping back the black for sure, and it wasn't black, it was Payne's gray, but scrape some of that back, but then kind of fade the yellow in, or?
You have to take it one step at a time. Don't think past the next step.
Okay.
So like, scrape, you added, it's kind of like, okay, you added too much, right? So now you have to scrape back. So you have to kind of, and this is like too harsh of a line right here, right? This line. Like this, so it has to be like opened up. This area I actually kind of like.
Yeah, just
leave that for a second. Like, don't worry, like leave that for a second.
Okay.
And then what I was thinking was like up here
Mm-hmm.
becomes like an open area, like sky.
Oh, with blue or
No,
white?
just white,
White.
like light,
Okay.
just lighter,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
right? Light sky. So this, it needs to get blended.
Yeah.
It's just, you
Straight
know,
back and blended. Yeah.
yeah, you really want to start to really learn about these, what I call suggestive lines,
Uh-huh.
that are not straight. Like, I
Yeah,
just,
not so obvious. Yeah. It just
yeah,
is so blocky. Oh.
right. And you need another area of the image to be, you want that like weave, right? So you want like, thicker wax,
Mm-hmm.
blurry, you want some texture, you want some photo, you want
Mm-hmm.
some texture, you want some photo, right? So back to the bare bones, of what's going on under here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I was thinking that you added another, and you don't have to add any wax. See this purple color?
Mm-hmm.
If you just take like this
Mm-hmm.
texture and like this texture
Mm-hmm.
and add a couple more of these purple flowers,
Oh,
it's
okay.
just gonna
All right.
be kind of like this nice little like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ledge or like
Okay.
another layer. And also,
Okay.
do you see how we're kind of working in like thirds? So it's almost
Oh,
like
yeah. Yeah.
this becomes like an area, then
Uh,
this becomes an area, right?
mhm.
Then this becomes an area, and then this. Do you see that?
Yeah,
So
I do.
often I think of my paintings in terms of like literally like triangles, or
Mhm.
so that
Mhm.
the composition is divided sort of in like, this is floral,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
photo, this is sort of abstract dress and gray and white, right? And then this can be opening up to getting lighter at the sky right here, right? Does that kind of
Okay.
make sense?
And with the dress itself, there was a point at which it wasn't as good as the other picture, but it seemed too white. So then I started putting light
Well,
gray on.
let me ask you this, like,
Yeah.
rather than scraping here, let's
Yeah.
go back and look at this other picture for a second. I just had an idea. So
Okay.
so do you see this one? Wait, I'm
Yeah.
gonna download this one. Hold on one second. So I like the way the dress looks in this one.
I
So,
like it better. Yeah. It still seems kind of blocky. It doesn't feel like there's water coming, it's coming in and out of the water, but
okay, but
it's better. Yeah.
but listen to this. So I just gave you a suggestion that you should scrape away in that one. But what if you just added, what if you, okay, so here's this one.
Yeah.
Hold on, I have to make them smaller. Hold on. Okay, so there's a couple, now that we look at them side by side,
Mm-hmm.
there's a number of things that I like about this one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think this Payne's gray is too strong and it's too heavy a color. I'm
Too
much
dark.
more interested in this like charcoaly gray,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because this kind of throws a wrench into the color palette.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this color palette of like
Mhm.
ochre and purple and gray versus this like blue. The blue, look how the blue changed the yellow.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
like,
It was too much. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
okay, so again, like think about, okay, so on this one, I
Mm-hmm.
like the way the skirt is. So can you, can you tell me how you could, um, you put this right back on here?
Well, I think I don't think it's scraping at this point. I
No,
think
I don't think it's scraping either. So that
I
was,
did wax, put another layer of wax.
oh, sorry.
Okay.
I don't want this on here. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Put another layer of wax. Make sure there's white pigment, white and gray
I don't
pigment.
think you need more wax. I think that if you add more wax, you're going to make it harder for yourself. I mean, you
Oh,
could add a very little kind of like brush stroke to like work on like this area, like,
Uh-huh. Yeah, because that got so flattened out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
let me see if I can delete that. Okay.
Mhm.
So technically, like you could add a little wax in this like
Mhm.
and these brush
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
this,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? You could brush just literally like that,
Just
and
to
then
get
just take
the
a little
motion.
bit of white, and then the highlights get white and the shadows get gray,
Okay.
and that'll and go right over this, right?
Okay.
And then see how this works out,
Mhm.
maybe just leave it and then add a little bit of purple pan pastel here, right?
Okay.
And lighten the sky. So
Okay.
so again, like 1 second rule, right? Not a ton, but I think that's the best strategy because
Okay.
I like this. Then you can see maybe see how these colors are working out for you, but
Mhm.
maybe adding a little bit of like a light brown to kind of soften the intensity of these colors,
Mhm. Mhm.
just to tone them down a tad.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That might
Uh-huh.
work. That might work.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Well, there's hope. I think I made a mistake. I practiced on the flowers, and then I was tired and the iron was too hot. And then I looked, it was a mess. I thought, oh, I got to put pigment stick on. I've got to show it to Leah tomorrow. It just was not a good thing to do at the last minute.
It's okay. I mean, live and learn,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's fixable. And I think that I think you are very smart and really give yourself a lot of credit for taking these photos, and there's nothing wrong with going back,
Mm-hmm.
right? And technically you can go back to this.
Mm-hmm.
You can. You can go back to this. And it's just you went too far here, so you can go back to this.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
There's hope. Good. Good. Good.
Okay. All right. So is there another one?
There was another. There was another
Okay. Email. Hang on.
figure that I did this in when you had the August workshop, and you had us do. It was really hard for me, the white with black and then put black with white and scrape back, and I saw what you were getting at, but it was just a mess. But I
Right.
did this one on a not even a board, just it's just paper.
Right.
So that was,
I like this.
well, I just I I didn't like it. I mean, I because I don't know how to see
Okay,
abstract.
so this is working really well. So what I would start to do is the weaving, right? So do you see how her arm is amputated? Like what I would do is I would take white pigment stick, like or pan pastel of this
Uh-huh.
color, and
Uh-huh.
oh, I don't want that. Wait, hold on. I would start to take this
Mhm.
into here
Mhm. Mhm.
so that this color is coming across this line, right?
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
you're going like around her.
So it's not the frame of the picture. I mean, I was being so literal. Um,
No,
to,
you want to take this white color
mhm.
and go
Mhm.
into this, like, and
Mhm.
start to define her. So blend this into here and
With
even
white.
like into here with white
Mhm.
lightly.
Mhm.
And then you have this opportunity here to, extend her body a little bit, or you could make her a skirt.
I think I tried that at one point. I tried it with actual lace or something after
Yeah,
the,
I think that would be
and
beautiful if you added like a skirt here and
yeah,
then just like white brought
yeah,
these this
yeah.
brought this line not with wax but with a color, a light color, because I love this text. I love the abstract and looseness of this texture.
I do like that part, but anyway. But so I put it down, and then I went after it again, and I made the second picture that I sent you.
Okay,
There's,
hold on. Let me see.
yeah, I mean, this was actually scrape. I tried it a lot of different ways. Okay, so the second one is, actually, this is after quite a few things, but I put color in. And then with this one,
So I love this, but I feel like I need more. I feel like I need to be able to see her more here. But I've been thinking about this for my own work
yeah.
is like, does the figure really need to be obvious? Like,
Well, I saw, so after I did this, maybe
I love this floral work.
I
I
do
mean,
too.
all
And
right,
I did
wait.
it after your last class. I did it last
I
week after the class where
Yeah,
you
I like it.
you did the stencil, and then I got some of those paper napkins and I cut those out. And anyway, so and then I came back to it 2 days ago or yesterday, and saw a picture you had posted with a figure, and all that I could see was, I mean, it was a figure, but then it was like the flowers were her hair. I mean, you really came in on it. I thought, okay, let me try that. So then that became the third picture here.
Yeah. I
Uh,
I actually think that I think that in a way you're a little bit more comfortable with the figure being a little bit more obscure. And I think that that's a
yeah.
style. I think that's just sort of what you're getting from your own work, like what your own intuitive is telling you is that maybe, your people are a little bit more hidden or behind the scenes of these pictures. And
Mhm.
I I kind of like that. So what I was going to question in
Mhm.
this one was how to kind of give her a tiny little bit more definition.
Mhm. Okay.
So what you could do is again, very similar thing. Like this is such a strong circle.
Mhm.
I would break down the circle.
Okay. Okay.
So one of the ways you could break down the circle is just by carrying. Oh no, stop. Carrying any of these colors, like this
Uh-huh.
color
Uh-huh.
or even this light blue color
Okay.
over into here,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
And then what that does is that will make her skin tone pop, and you're
Mhm.
gonna go like along at the shape of her body,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mhm.
And then I think this is really lovely how she's like got these flowers in front of her and she's back here. But to me, like the circle,
It's too obvious.
it's too
Yeah.
obvious. So you just can break down the edges of the circle and maybe start very slowly,
Uh-huh.
with a little, maybe even a little bit of a green. But I kind of like the idea of a little
Uh-huh.
bit of this blue coming over. I also think that these flowers here, are one color.
Oh, okay. So
Right?
do some shading on them or
They need
highlight
like
them.
light blue or
Mhm.
they need like some of
Okay.
this light yellow in these flowers. Also, like
Okay.
if you have this color here, remember
Yeah.
the colors bounce around, right? So
Mhm.
they bounce around, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, oh, I didn't mean to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so think about bouncing, they bounce
Right.
around like
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
And
that creates movement also.
right. So they go here, they go into here, right? Well, it
Mhm.
just creates rather than like hard stops, it creates more
Right.
like visual flow for the eye.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I actually really like this one.
I do too, but then I cover over it, so that's the third one.
Oh, then you went over it. Okay. This is, that, and now it's this.
Yeah, and now it's that one because this is the one where I thought, well, I'll bring the flowers closer to her face. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So,
And it's still I know I have to, I know I waxed it and I thought I didn't have time to scrape it. So I know I have to do that. But it's because I waxed the circle just to get the flowers down and to get a little bit of color. But
uh-huh.
so I know I have to do it. But so go ahead and then tell me about this one.
So, um, I would scrape back. I would go back. I think it got too dark. I mean, I think it got.
To and you mean scrape back and take some of the flowers out, get back to this one.
It's amazing how the circle stayed there. I mean, oh, you collage.
I
This,
collaged those, so I had to wax them. So I put another layer of wax around this, and even a little bit more over her head, so it wasn't that well that you talk about.
you know what? I'm going to talk about something very specific in my abstract floral class coming up this weekend, and it's going to focus on like the empty space.
Mm-hmm.
This piece, you're
Much.
not allowing any empty space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that.
So you're just like I think you're just trying to solve your problems. And I even think I've done this in my life. It's like trying to solve my problems, my insecurities by just adding, adding, adding,
Mm-hmm.
adding
Mm-hmm.
more, right?
But
But
the
I think
negative space is important. Yeah.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that especially within caustic, like
Mm-hmm.
my favorite part of this piece now is probably like I up here. Like this is what you know what I mean?
Huh.
Because and maybe like in here because
There.
everything else is too busy.
Yeah, and actually those I ironed, so it actually was very defined vines, and then I ironed it, and so it got um, less defined. So that's interesting.
I like this is my I love this. I love this
Oh,
background and then the green coming over. This is like what I love about the wax. Like
okay.
and I mean I could stretch the circle to like here, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what
Mm-hmm.
I love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like this is too literal.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like it's just too like
Yeah.
smelling the flat. If this was the only thing in the whole composition and I saw her shoulder, like if it was just this side and this
Uh-huh.
flower, like I would be like, okay, so that's an option. Like you could scrape all of this off
Uh-huh.
and make this like just soft and clear. You could go over this and really make it disappear and
Huh.
and just focus on this.
Huh. Oh, I
That
see. Well, and that green line that I had from the very beginning, that was so dominant that I put wax on it just at the end yesterday, just to start, kind of soften it. But you're saying really just get rid of all of that.
well, I think what's interesting about this piece is that there are a lot of areas that are working well.
Hmm.
Like, and I actually even think like this whole area down here is working very
I
well.
like that. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it's because you have a background, an over, right?
Hmm.
Positive and negative space, right? And you have these cool
Hmm.
shapes.
Hmm.
This is not working for me at all.
Uh-huh.
Nothing in here. And just having her
Yeah.
head like this
Too much.
is not working for me.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see
So
if I can scrape it back so I do what you suggested on the
So
last.
one thing you could
Yeah.
do is just go over her, just completely
Mhm.
get rid of her.
Oh, and just make it into a floral?
Yeah,
Yeah, that would okay.
because
Yeah.
then you could just really focus on how you're compositionally utilizing,
Okay.
right? And then
Yeah.
honestly, like this area is a mess.
It is a mess. Yeah. Yeah.
However, this area is pretty and this area could be pretty. This could
Mhm.
just go very simple into like backgrounds.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
you can draw like a horizon line like here. This
Mhm.
can become far away,
Very soft.
very far away. Yeah, very blurry,
Yeah. Okay.
right? And then you could have these guys, coming around. This would be the foreground,
Foreground. Right.
right?
Mhm.
So then you can start to think like this is in front, this is
Mhm.
far away,
Mhm.
this is like this is this in between, and then this is also like a frame.
Mhm.
Is
Mhm.
that like
Yeah.
right? So this
Right.
is close.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
do you understand how these different treatments create
Mhm.
sort of
Yeah, I'm getting a better sense of it now. And then as we talk, okay, all right. It's just I have to keep working with it. Keep working with
so
it.
do you see
But
how
I'm,
Do you see how this works? So it's like, so you're really creating 3-dimensional space.
Well, it's interesting that the darker on the left, that's all darker. So you think it'd be back, but it is forward. And maybe because it's more.
It's because you have a layer. It's because you have light behind it. So it's almost like it's backlit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And it's like a silhouette. It's because it's dark. That's how that reads. It's like something that, you know, when you have a window and you photograph a plant in front of it,
right,
and the plant is dark and the light is giving the shape. That's what you're doing.
So, but it's still close. So what do I do about the?
Well, and it's close because of its size.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a lighting thing and also a scale.
Okay. I think it's been helpful to know that I have to have different sizes of flowers.
Yeah, you have to. Yes. So you have to think about scale. So look at a bunch of pictures of gardens and like flowers. Like, I don't know if you saw my Facebook post from yesterday, but I'm getting ready to teach this workshop. And I'm putting up, I can show them to you. Hang on. I'm putting up the picture. You know, I always like to put up the originals before I start painting them. I don't know why my Facebook isn't logged. I don't have them on this computer. That's why I have to go through Facebook. Hold on. I don't. So again, like, these are the photos that I'm going to paint this weekend. Cool. Right? So you can see, like, this one, these are coming forward. This one's going back. Right? And then I have stuff in the back. These are forward. They're bigger. They're sharper. This one is back. Right? So you should look at pictures of reality while you're painting, right? So this one's coming forward. These are going back. Right? These are on the tablecloth, right? So when I go to paint this, I'm really going to focus on, like, the fact that this could be like a moon because it's a circle shape.
Oh, yeah.
And these can just be forward, coming forward, but then this is going back, right? So this will stay dark and loose texture. This will be more smooth and clear and light, and then I'll put the flowers on top. Like this one.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
this one, I love this one, right?
Love it. Wow.
Oh my God, I love it. So what I'm going to focus on is, like, these, I'm going to focus on these spaces, right? So this, all this space here is going to be quiet. It's going to be no texture, smooth wax in a very light, neutral color, right?
I'm getting
so this is where this picture is also very joyful, because you do have action and movement, but you have a lot of quiet space.
So I should be thinking in terms of shooting wide open so I can get that quiet space.
Yeah, I was very close up. I zoomed in on these flowers, but like, I love this one too, for the same reason, is that, like, by being so close to one and letting these others fall out, and then I added this, like, sun flare. So it's kind of, and then I love these I'm so into these outside line spaces.
Yeah.
And then all of this quiet space on both sides, right?
So there's quiet space, dark, quiet space, light, and soft. Okay.
Like, and so these that I do in the studio are going to be harder because they're more specific, and there's more focus on more flowers. So
and they're
sharper, right? They're not as layered. So then I could add fake flowers. Like, the idea about this is maybe continuing a shape. So maybe the shape is an arch, right? And then I hand paint more flowers, or I obscure some, right? So that's a little bit more challenging. Whereas these are maybe easier because they have sharpness and then out of focus. So, and the out of focus, I want to keep, like, soft wax, like soft colors, not a lot of texture, right? And then maybe just allow the photo to be texture. And then where there's kind of like the middle, that's where I could add a stencil, right?
I see. Yeah. Okay.
So not down here, like to support this one, I could add some what are they called? Co-stars.
Yeah. Okay.
Co-stars, right?
Cool. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I mean, you have options here, and you could do what I did too when I kind of had very complicated artworks, is you could make a printout of this and go both ways. So you could go, you know, re-wax the printout. So you could cover her face up. So you can take this picture, print it, and wax what you already have.
So I would ask you to print it in black and white or in color.
It would be easier just to do it in color.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, I could print that for you and mail it to you. I don't know when, or you can just print it at home on your home.
On my
Yeah.
machine. I have another question on this one. See this area that's really bumpy right below her? It's in the middle, but it's like the first third. It's just bumps. And that was bumps from that black and white, you know, some iteration. I tried to iron the bumps and it didn't really help. And it's hard to scrape them. Do you have any suggestions for that? Because that to me looks really mucky.
Wait, which area? This area?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I actually really like it. I mean, I like this area. I mean,
so just leave it.
Well, okay. You have to decide if this is like going away. I mean, if this is going away, how are you going to do it? You're going to do what? You're going to add wax, right?
Add wax and maybe soften the color. Yeah, but just add wax. Maybe not just clear. Maybe
No, I would add a thick color. Like make it go away. Like I don't know if you've really tried that technique, but like make it go away.
Okay. All right.
So if you take like a cream or
I was thinking a cream would,
and you brush it over this.
Okay.
You know, you could, and since this is bumpy, this could be really beautiful, is
I see.
Fuse it, let it cool down, and then scrape a little bit of the cream back. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a little bit of this purple coming through.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to be a lot calmer and smoother, right? And then you can kind of like take a little bit of green as if you've got this like latticey thing coming over the top, right? And then you can work on some more of these blue flowers. I mean, you still could work on this bottom. Do you see how this is all just like one green?
Right. Just have some air coming through.
I would just hit it with a pigment stick, and whatever color you use here, it's gonna be reflective light.
Okay.
Reflective light. So if you use like a beige there or cream there, then you could add a little bit of that highlighty stuff down here.
Okay. Well, you if you do it, you make it always look so easy. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a learning piece. It's
never easy, and it's always the thing about, for me with the wax, is that I see what I see in the moment, right? And I make a decision, and then I leave it, I come back and I see it totally differently.
Yeah.
So there's like this two parts of this artist brain. It's like the intuition, impulsiveness, right? The like act and respond type thing. And then there's this contemplative analysis part that comes in later. Like it's hard to be the artist, the like doer, and the analyzer.
Well, I think that's true. It's true. Yeah. And everything you have to let it go and then come back and be the editor, whatever. Exactly.
And you have to process, right? I mean, I think that all decision making is like that. I mean, decisions are terrible.
Yeah, well, you've had some decisions to make lately.
But I think artists make decisions all the time. All the time. I mean, and even like me, I had to make decisions like all day yesterday about which photos. Like I literally photographed flowers since COVID started. I have a
Mhm,
year of work. I haven't looked at any of it.
mhm.
So
I've started taking pictures of flowers, especially I have some lens baby things that are really
yeah.
new for me. So it's
Well, those will be
good.
really good for wax. I have to
Yeah.
say, Pam, that the blurrier the photo
Yeah.
to start out with, the better, the easier it is to paint because it
I'm
kind of
beginning, I get it. I'm
it
beginning to get
helps
it.
you.
Yeah.
That's why I like the 4x5 because
Mhm.
I was doing so much kind of like waxy techniques. If my image is all sharp, it's
Yeah, I don't,
really hard for me to
yeah,
start the painting. Like what's going back, what's
right.
whereas
Mhm.
those close-uppy ones were
Mhm.
already waxy.
Yeah, I love them. And I'm getting, so I'm not looking for F16 anymore. I mean, it's not what I wanted,
Oh
you know?
God, no. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I know. But it,
Lens, baby. Lens. So this is a really good conversation because as a photographer, like lens, baby, is going to be a better lens for wax pictures.
oh,
It-
absolutely. Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
you know,
So I'm still playing with that. Yeah. So, I mean, this is opening up so many different areas for me. So it's great. Yeah.
right. And I think it is very challenging to take a totally in focus photo and turn it into a wax piece. That's why I started doing all those other techniques, such as the sandpaper and the gesso, right? They also can distort an image very much like shallow depth of field or a lens baby or the view camera, right? So I can
Okay.
literally like get
Mm,
rid of something, you know,
right.
start
Right.
to obscure it, start to
Mhm.
hide it, start
Yeah.
to,
Right.
you know, push and pull the focal point.
No, it's been these 6 months with you have been a real eye opener in a lot of ways. So
Well, it's interesting to think about photographs in other ways.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
really you're like you're deconstructing them and then
Mhm,
you're deconstructing them and reconstructing them,
mhm, mhm.
you
Yeah,
know, which
good.
is really what you're doing. So you're not just taking them at point blank. You're pushing them into other possibilities.
Yep, I like it. Um, do we have? I don't even know. Oh no, we're up. We're our time's up.
Well,
I
do you
was.
want to go into you can go do you want to go in the studio for a minute?
Well, the thing is, it's sound no, because by the time I get the wax really up, I mean, at one point I was saying I wanted you to watch how I was doing it, but no, I think it would take too long. I've got this, so I'm gonna go back in and work with what you've given me. You've given me a lot to work with those two pieces,
Okay.
the woman and also I could look at some of the flowers that I sent you. No, because it would take a while for me to the wax is heating, but it's not
Well,
up to speed yet.
let's say that let's say the next session that
I
you're
work.
in the studio, yeah, that we're
Okay.
in the studio, and I can either, and also the next time I meet with you, I will have just completed this workshop that's coming up. So
Okay.
I can kind of show you how those pictures that
Yeah.
I just
Well,
showed you work, how they
what you
work
did
out.
with great. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
So I don't know why don't you just let me know
I'm
when
gonna
a good
get
time.
tomorrow. I'm gonna get my new schedule.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I've been trying to think about it. Wait, 8 times 3 is 24 and 6. I think I'm still gonna have one weekday and off, and it's probably gonna be Fridays.
that's fine. I mean,
I'm hoping,
Friday afternoons we have the puppy training, but in the mornings, which is better for you, it
yeah,
sounds
I'm hoping
okay.
that my new schedule is like Monday to Thursday, 8 to or 7 to 3. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's
whatever. Yeah,
I'm hoping that's my schedule and that I can have one day a week off, either Monday or it's probably going to be Friday though.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
enjoy
then
the yeah.
I have every weekend in February too. I have nothing going on.
Wow. Okay. That's
So if
okay.
that's good for you. we can do, okay.
Okay. This
Okay.
was very helpful. Yeah, first I thought, oh, I want Leah to watch how I'm doing this, but I think again, it's like learning how to see, then going back in, how can I do it? See what I can do on my own.
Well, look, I'm going to show you something really here.
Yeah.
I'll show you something kind of cute. So I asked all of my incoming, most of my people for the workshop that I'm doing this weekend have worked with me before. So I asked them to tell me what they wanted to learn.
Uh-huh.
So most of them said, your thought processes when you're creating, I can't decide which way to go after applying the wax. I have a mental block when it comes to starting and designing a photo encaustic. Where to begin? Where do I put the flowers? Then I get stuck. I would like to learn more about pulling the subject out of the photo, not letting everything be flat, like flow, combining color, planning and stage, and your thought process as you begin painting, quiet and texture. I want da 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 da. Same thing. How do you pack it? Well, that's easy. I don't know how to take it to the next level. So similar questions, right? So you're not alone, right? And
oh no, I know that, but
really what will happen, what is going to happen, and I swear, is that you're just going to start to feel and see things that you like.
Yeah.
And so like for me, I think this one was really oh wait, are you on screen share? Hold on. This one was really helpful because honestly, like I like a lot of areas of this painting.
Yeah.
Maybe more than any of your other paintings that we've worked on so far. I really love areas of this painting. Right?
Yeah, too. Yeah.
And I think that your composition is getting stronger. Your sense of close and far away is getting stronger. I still think that you need to be sensitive to light and dark colors and how to blend them a little bit more together. But I think you're getting, this is like this, and this I'm seeing a lot of progress.
Good. Well, this was from August. I mean, it's amazing how many times I've redone this picture. I just showed you, like one or two, but yeah. Okay, great.
I have a big painting that I started in March that I've left now for almost like 4 months, and I'm going to go back into it and I'm going to take it all off. So this is not uncommon.
Okay.
For me, in encaustic, I would rather and sometimes I definitely know I have like my bag of tricks. Like I definitely have my go-tos that I know are safe.
Yeah.
That I know that look good with photos that I can work. But a lot of times I like to try to make other things happen, sort of magic and unknown.
Pushing it a bit.
Pushing it a bit. And you have to do that too. Even if if it looks terrible or it's unsuccessful, you still have to do that too.
Oh, that's what I feel is happening. And sometimes it's a disaster and sometimes, yeah.
Every once in a while though, I would just do something safe and comforting so that you're also giving yourself sort of this like simple beauty in working in the wax in your photos so that they're getting along nicely. So that you're not always challenging yourself. So you have to kind of find that balance between these ones that you want to push and these ones that you just want to make work.
Because sometimes I get so discouraged. I think, oh my gosh, I'll never get it. But I also know that there's a learning curve, and then all of a sudden things will start falling into place.
Yeah, so and I actually wait. One more thing before you go. I actually really, I really like this one.
Really?
I really like it.
I would never have seen that. I scrape back. I said, oh my God.
I just want you to take a white pigment stick. And so I want you to just get rid of this hard line and blend blend these. This could go dark
Mm,
right here. This could go right. Just blend this in just like a little bit of pigment stick, and see if you like that.
Interesting. Okay, so I could Xerox it out and then re-wax it and put the pigment stick on.
No, I would do it right on this one.
No. This is, I covered it up.
Oh, is this now gone?
This is gone.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah. So print it out. Yeah, so print
Yeah.
it out.
Okay. Yeah.
Print it out. Wax it with wax medium, and then go and use the pigment stick.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try that. It's great.
Yeah, and
That's
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Go back to me. Thank you so much, Leigh. It's
Thank you. Have a
good.
great day. So nice
You
to talk to
too.
you about art. And I will be in contact by the beginning of next week
Yeah, that's fine.
about our next date. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Bye.
great. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.